And we're back with the Watch Us Change Us radio show. I'm Scooter McGavin.
And I'm the light. But what you seek is fire.
Word.
Yo.
Big shout out to our VPM over here.
Yes. Much appreciation.
Choose a name you want to go by on the show, sir. VPM it is. You know we like to have the mystery guy in the back, but this mystery guy is bringing us into the future along with everyone, including ourselves. Just to backtrack on the last segment, you know, we got a couple trunk or treats going on.
Yes.
Thursday, October 24th.
Yep.
And then Sunday on the 27th.
I believe it's the 27th.
I'm gonna
double check, but that's gonna be at the DSS building, so that's why I believe it might be the Saturday, not on a Sunday. I'm pretty sure they would do it on a Saturday. But I'm waiting to hear back because somebody had reached out to me for that. So I definitely want to do that. To seek out some more resources and whatnot for the community. And then the 24th, again, we gotta ask. But I also work there in the community center, Southern Tier, you know, One Clubhouse Road. The 24th, I believe it's from 5 to 7. So, you know, Watch Us Change Us is gonna be in the building.
We will be.
Yo, I feel like you should do some Barry White covers or something, man. Sometimes your voice, you hear him? Yeah.
I can't even
talk that low, bro.
Yo, we just was talking about this yesterday because I was talking to my grandmother shit, and I was like, yo, why your voice like that? Like, you extra aggressive. That's just how my voice is. I said, Grandma, I know you my whole life. I know the different tones in your voice. So then I go to my supervisor and I'm like, yo, he was like, who you was talking to? I didn't know if you was talking to a kid or an adult the way you was talking. I said, I had to stay in my lane because it was my grandmother, but she was talking mad aggressive. Where's this? They don't got that. I said, why you being so aggressive? She told me she's not. And I said, and you guys talking about me, talking about my voice, where you think I get it from? Get it from her. I said, my voice switch up all the time, son. I be talking one way, then you talking about some bear. And I realized that after you said, I said, my voice was like that. Yeah. But I just be doing it, and it be throwing me off too sometimes because my kids be telling me all the time, "Yo, you just switch your voice up for what, man?"
You sound like a relaxed lion.
A relaxed lion, he says.
like Mufasa, but he chilling.
Mufasa.
That's my move.
Speaking of relaxation, Smash Room. What we doing? We got 30 days. Let's set one up. I want to break something.
Yo, I just want to go because I want to make it more lit than they be having in the movies, yo.
I want to know what it feels like. I want to be able to say, like, how people go into, like, the tents and get the sweat out. I just want to break something and see how I feel after. Like, you know, purposely intend to, you know, throw a few things, glass, whatever. I don't know about the glass part. I think I'm going to start, you know, something where I ain't going to hurt myself initially.
I just want to use one of those weapon joints and just be smashing everything. Boom!
Yo, I'm already ahead of y'all. Like, I be outside, like, cutting up trees and stuff with machetes just for that reason. Like, people be like, oh, why don't you use a saw to cut that? Because I want to use a machete because I'm getting the exercise and the rage out at the same time. You know, I do that. But I'm down for a smash room, you know. I just think everybody better stretch, you know.
Oh yeah,
because y'all gonna be hurt afterwards.
Room one,
because everybody gonna be going
cardio.
The whole room is not young. We're not, you know.
Never forget room one, cardio.
We ain't getting up there. We up there.
Man, I woke up and my ankle hurt the other day for no reason. I didn't even do anything. You know. But then the other night I
slept on it wrong.
Nah, I dragged the dresser upstairs from the alley because nobody was trying to help me fast enough. You know what I'm saying? So all you hear is dogs running out of the way, like, you know.
It's safe to say we're at the age where you do something and then it don't hurt for like 2-3 days later. Like you just said, I pulled this dolly a couple days ago and it came back to bite me 2 days later. Like, oh, what happened?
Nah, one time I rode a roller coaster and the next day I felt it. I was like, man, I'm not getting on roller coaster no more. And then I seen a sign in the park that said no one over 33 or something should be on roller coaster.
You lying. That's discrimination.
It was in the fifth quarter.
I bet it was. It was in the fifth quarter. I can see that though, when we're roller coasters, like there's some delayed trauma. Just get a random shake out of somewhere.
Roller coasters are my joints. I'll be feeling fine.
At what age do you think it starts to provide help?
40 something. That wasn't long ago. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think it depends on the person.
When it starts hurting to sit down, maybe you shouldn't be, or when you just on your daily motions,
But the
and
one
it's starting to hurt, like you just doing this.
the one I went on was like an old rickety wooden one though.
I
Nah,
will never get on one
I
of
don't mess
those.
with those. I
That's the one that
always feel like it's
I don't
gonna be
trust
some
that.
final destination type joint.
It's going
And the
off.
joint
It's gonna happen when you go.
And I'm like, I'm not going. I never go on no wooden ones ever. I went on once when I was like a teenager. I said, this joint feel like it's gonna fall apart. Never again. If it ain't metal, steel, or whatever, I ain't.
I always
messing with
said I was going to ride the Cyclone, and it ended up closing for that very same reason. It just got too old. Like,
it. That's what-
been to Coney Island 80 million times, never rode the Cyclone. Cause it's like wooden roller coaster. One, I don't deal with heights too much, so roller coasters are naturally a thing I do with my eyes closed. I don't want to see it. I want to be over with. Call me a punk, whatever you want. Hey, I don't. Heights make me worried. It just, we not supposed to be up there, bro. Unless we in something that can keep you up there. Can't do roller coasters too often.
Those were my joints. Superman was my favorite. And so I went on the Hulk. The Hulk at Universal was crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. I haven't done no Hulk joint. I did the Superman a couple of times. One time I took Zay to go to the Superman, but he was too small. Right? He couldn't get on, he was too short. Which is funny, right? Because he's mad
That's
tall.
all now. Yeah, he's feeling himself.
So, but when we got off of it, right? So I didn't go on because I didn't want him to not go. So they all went. I was like, I'm not going.
How long was the wait?
There was another dude that couldn't get on because he was too tall. So I have this memory of like.
Was he 6'4"?
this, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he was like 6'8".
7"?
Yeah, he was big. He was big.
How long was the
He was
ride? How long was the wait for Superman? Because every time I went to at least Six Flags like 3-4 times, and either A, Superman was broke, or B, you was waiting like 4 or 5 hours to get on Superman.
Hour or so, probably.
Nah, I
I
didn't know.
don't know how it works now, but
That was years ago.
Superman used to take forever to get on.
Is that Rochester? That's what the lake is at. When we went there, we was able to go every day because we camped there. You know what I mean? So you had that free pass, so you could just go. So I never had to wait in no line. Anytime there was a line, I would just go to something else. Me and the kids would go to something else because we was there for like 4 days. So they was able to hit everything up, and we knew. And then we figured the schedule out where no one was gonna be there. Go in the morning, hit up some of the rides. Then you go to do the water rides, and then during mid-evening, there's another time section where nobody was on the rides. Like we had that system worked out, son.
I remember when they first opened up, they had the hotel that was next to it.
Yup, they still got the
We
hotel.
used to get at that point in time, it was like $150, and you had like from Friday to Sunday. You know what I mean? You had the hotel room, and we would split it like 75-75 because every room had like the pull-out couch in it. You know what I mean? So we split it like 75-75, but when you know what I mean? It's like 20 of us, 25 of us. You know what I mean? Splitting it up with the rooms all through there. So it was like, even in our off time that we wasn't having fun in the park.
That's what we did. You was doing because you was with your people, so you had other stuff to do. You know what I mean? They had stuff going on outside the joint. I met some cool ass people when I was camping out there in the trailer joints or whatever. The campers had AC, so I was cool. As long as they had AC, I was
with
fine.
the cool people.
Yeah, everybody was. I was like, if I ain't no AC, I ain't messing with it. But you know what I mean?
I might be able to try the camping part though.
We always had a tent, so you had the option. And I would be out there for a little while, but then it get too hot. So I mean, my nose start bleeding if I get too hot. So I used to have to go inside the camper joint, right in front of the AC. But
That's crazy. Camping at the amusement park though, like how far away from the park would you camp?
It's on the same
it was on the same property. You know, it's just the backside, so it was already encaged, like as far as the outside of people, because they was clocking who came in. Cause I ain't gonna front. I snuck in my adopted son Turtle. I was like, get on the floor. I had made him crouch down mad low, put the blanket down, and had all the kids standing on top of him when we went through the thing, because they was literally counting 1, 2, 3, 4, because the tickets, the wristbands was only for a certain amount of people. And then we just said, oh, we lost one, you know, the woo-wop, you know what I mean? I ain't telling nobody to scheme and scam, but I'm saying but it was for the greater good. My adopted son Turtle never been on vacation before, and he had the time of his life, except for when I was gonna whip him and KJ's ass because they went missing. But like I said, they could just go to the park and do whatever they want, you know what I mean? So like I said, there's no lines or whatever.
Lucky you. I wasn't that privileged.
Listen, I was that privileged. I lived in Springfield. When I lived in Springfield,
VPN.
we had Six Flags that was literally 10 minutes away from my house, and I had my son work there for one summer, and I mean literally. Whenever we want to talk about, that was the perfect babysitter. Oh, take your sister, go ahead. She loved every roller coaster to this day because that whole listen, I enjoyed that Six Flags that summer because it literally we was able to go and enjoy when employee time where they were still running them. There was absolutely no guests there, and we were able to sit there and go on all the rides without having to wait on anything.
We really lived in an ideal place while we was out there. Six Flags down the road, the Basketball Hall of Fame down the road. Like I could see the Hall of Fame from my house when I was out there.
And an MGM
Never
Grand.
went.
That's on
And
my
the
list.
casino.
That's on my
And an
list.
MGM Grand.
Right down the
Right down the
road.
block. So right down the block from my house was the MGM Grand Basketball Hall of Fame.
I've been in there a few
And
times.
8 minutes away from me was Six Flags Adventure.
I went into that MGM from work one day, had to use the bathroom. Came out the bathroom ready to go home. I'm like, I got $10. Let me throw in this slot. Came up $110 on a bathroom break.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm leaving. God is good.
The MGM be lit. I stayed in one in Vegas when I was out there for my birthday a few years ago. That joint was so fire. Like that whole facility and the outside, the inside. I had the nice jacuzzi joint in my crib in the room. We had this big old the lighthouse lights. But it was in my room and the light worked. Like it was some real video joint. Like we could have used that light in here.
Sunlight. I was riding around with somebody, and this chick had an artificial sun on her phone, like that color, and it's just like she had her own daylight. I'm like, and it was like the size of these two. Like imagine this phone double, just big old sun on your phone. Yo.
So, do you think gambling stress reliever or stress agitator?
It depends.
I think it's both.
If you're smart about how you gamble. Like some people just go in there and like they sit there and get hooked.
They go in there and
That's why I say
they don't
both.
have it's a stress reliever for them.
They'll be having a
Like
care in the
they don't have a
world.
kid and they sit there and they probably spend maybe $20 the entire day, but for some reason for them it relaxes them.
I've watched the seniors play at $100 bill at a time. They
My
run into
grandmother
a couple
and my aunts and
hundred.
them, they sit in there for mad long.
And rotate
and I
a couple
feel like it's a
hundred.
stress reliever for them because even when they lose, they don't be seeming agitated. They go right over and take some more money out and go right back over there. I'm about to hit, watch. And then they usually do too.
They always say, you always go to the casino with money you expect to lose. Don't expect to win anything. Like everything you bring to casino, you gotta accept that I may not come out of this with nothing.
That's why I'm asking, is it a reliever? Like, do you go in there saying to yourself, like, I'm just gonna throw this out, bro? Like this is just
I think the ones that are addicted to gambling, those are the ones that are agitating and more for themselves, and they just can't shake that fix because they lose, and then they get that one lick where they win. But if you do the math, you might have only got your money back that you already lost all those other times. That's why I don't really be gambling. I might throw away a little $20, $30, you know what I mean, playing poker or something. When I went to Vegas, I stayed out there for almost 2 weeks. I spent a total of $200 that had something to do with gambling. And I was out there for 2 weeks. And I was just doing it because nobody wanted to go nowhere else except for the casino at one point. And I had to sit there. And I'm like,
I get a lot of people.
alright.
I get a lot of people that tell me you can't strategize when you go to the casino. Like no matter what you do, the results are still the same. I'm like, no, you gotta know how to play. You gotta know in 30 minutes change, the game or change the slot machine you at. Like you'll get the results you want, and don't go in there with just ATM access. You go in there with a set amount of money, like $500. Just hit the casino with $500. That's it, and whatever happens, happens. There has to be a tactic to it.
all right. So you say you ain't going. You say with the limit.
I never lost $20.
I say that there has to be a tactic.
Yours is with an extended limit, right? So
I like a good cushion. I'm a big sucker for reassurance. So 500 seems cushion for me.
As soon as I lose money, I'm mad because I'm like, I could have spent that money on this. I go straight to thinking about my bills and something that was of importance.
So
That's exactly what happened to me.
okay, so it comes to a level of priority, right? Where your priorities may lie, right? So for a heavy gambler, their priority is winning, right? So until they actually get that fixed, they're gonna keep going in that cycle, right? So your priority, you're saying, is my family. I gotta think about my bills. I gotta think about certain things. And I have to have other things I have to focus on. So for me, that priority, that's gonna supersede what, because if everyone enjoys a little bit of some sort of a gamble, whether it be, you know, you betting your friends, doing something silly, you know what I mean? You're gonna enjoy some sort of, you know what I mean?
Thank you, DraftKings, by the way. Just want to say that. And thank you, Colorado. Did me justice last week.
Do you think that may resort to a level of responsibility or priority? What you place as a priority? Because you said that, what he said is too much, right? You said 500 is too much. Maybe a little bit less.
But it might not. But it might not. But it also depends on people's finances too, as well. Like what 500 is to him might be 100 to me, or 100 to me is 1,000 to him, depending on what people's finances is. So therefore, people might want to take a more of a risk because you got other things, that other amounts of income and stuff. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. For me, like I said, I know
so
my
if you
avenue.
have more, would you bet more?
Depending on the situation. Like I'm gonna bet on myself.
Why you say not at all?
I say not at all because the work that I come from is I'm always on my feet. So that $20, that $30, like I put that in on my legs and my body. So to watch it go away like that is just not for me. Like it messes with me. It's like playing stocks. I see people, they make, you know, $300 one day and then lose it the next day, and I get it, it's a game and you can come up crazy, but the times that you lose it, man, I feel like it wears on your mental, you know, it wears on your spirit.
That's what people
I'd
just like,
rather
you're not supposed to like, I see people like compromising their mental health in situations where they're checking their stock like every day. Like I think stocks is something you're gonna lose.
It's gambling, no less.
You gotta, it is a gamble.
It's a form of gambling.
It is.
But also buying a used car is a gamble.
Oh yeah. They don't call them lemons for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to Binghamton for being the lemon kings. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like all y'all little car dealers with your lemons that y'all sell. Even though my car is cool, you know, I'm not shouting out the place I got it though, because y'all charge me too much.
Do you know your lemon count? Anyone know their lemon count?
What you mean?
How in the history of you owning a car, or driving a car, how many lemons have you had?
3.
He knew that number off the top of his head. So,
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like
what was the worst of the 3?
One. I would say one.
I only had one, and I knew that joint was a lemon because I got the joint for like $75.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
What?
$75.
Like to me, what makes it a lemon is like when you buy it, and as soon as you buy it, you gotta buy it knowing you gotta fix something.
I did. That's why I didn't care, because it was $75.
Old school names for lemons, yeah. Duster, a hoopty.
Hoop ride.
You know what I'm saying?
Got my hoop ride.
This is my baby mama's car. You know?
All I did was spend money on that car to get to college, and it barely got me to college, and I was going to school in Herkimer. It was only an hour and 45 minutes away. Yo, that joint broke down like $3.
I've never heard that price being paid for a moving vehicle.
Yo,
it broke down 3 times.
You know how people say, "Oh, that's a steal." That's not even a steal.
I'm pretty sure
It's A to B. That's it.
It's
It
AB.
barely got to the.
I guarantee that shit is always one trip away from not working. So it's an A to B. It's no
Thank
guarantee.
goodness my cousin was following me, so
No
I had somebody
guarantee
to wait
you
with me
gonna
every
make it
time
back.
we wait.
Smart.
Yo, my first car was an Accord, a 92, and I bought it for $300. I was like 26. That was the first car I ever bought. I was a late bloomer in the car world, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, you would call it a hoopty. It wasn't a hoopty to me. You know what I'm saying? I fixed everything on that car. I had mad fun doing it.
I think that was around when you got that.
It was probably the first year is 06 maybe. I bought it for $300. Shout out to Izzy, my man.
I remember. Yeah, I
who got
remember.
deported.
That's the Queen joint, right?
I remember
Right.
when you got the car. I remember when you got the Izzy, when he was at the spot over here. He had just moved to the spot over here when they got out there at the spot. I I remember when you got the car.
But the lemon I got from him was a Subaru. I don't know if y'all remember that one.
I remember when you got
That was
That's a tough lemon to deal with. Like, come on, man. How you gonna give me a lemon soup?
that joint was like the loner. You know what I'm saying? He promised a pay job, but my man got deported before he could
Yo,
do it.
Izzy, if you hearing this, man, shout out to Izzy, yo.
Shout out to Izzy in Iraq.
Izzy's that guy, man. If you needed a car, you can get you a car.
He definitely got me a couple of months for sure. You know.
How much you got? Like, I got 900. Like, I got just the thing for you.
Yo, before we take the convo,
I like dudes. I just have a couple of dudes like that. I got you.
but yo, before we take him out, shout out to my boy Dustin for doing the visual graphics for us.
Yeah,
We appreciate that. I like that.
For real.
Media Creations NY is his company. You can look him up. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Watch Us Changes radio show. If you got something else fly to say, Jay, put it in there. You know, otherwise, I'm Dev.
It's your boy Sheep, you know what it is. One time for the one time.
Vote.
Or don't.
Nah, vote. Or show up to a town meeting.
Yo, real too.
Gonna have to edit that.
Jay's doing the editing. VPM. Shout out to VPM.
Appreciate you.
The future is bright.
So, we out.
Audi 5000. Shout out to Screeno too. We heard him crying in the background the whole show. Meow.